Morning, good. On this video, I was going to go through the airbrush, show you how I airbrush paints and all the rest of it, you know, hand brush. And obviously I'll come round to that. The problem is I can't get to the shed yet because we've got a lot on, so that'll have to wait. I'll show you something else. So I don't need to make a video showing you how to spray paint and prime. I showed you that very basically in part 1. Okay, whether you get the Woodruff model or you get a FUD model, you're still going to have to rub it down. Just that the Woodruff ones, you're going to spend a lot more time smoothing things over. With the FUD one, it smooths a lot easier and there's a bit less to do. Now with the Tamiya spray paint I showed you in part 1, I've now gone over this. There's a teeny weeny bit of stepping still visible, but on the old, it's pretty darn smooth. I'm very happy with it. Might give it a smaller rub over, but like I said, it's just pretty much ready. Okay, so that is ready for paint. Just a little note, the model has been updated since this, so the chimney is a wee bit taller than this, a teeny bit, and the back head has been improved because some details have changed on there. And the dome bases, the dome chimneys on all the models have recently been updated as well, because Shapeways rendering isn't the best and it was kind of accentuating things, so I've redone that. But this video is something else. FUD 2 arrived in the post. This is what they look like when they've not been cleaned, so I'm going to show you how to clean it. I tried showing this to the camera. It won't focus for Toffee because probably it's see-through, I don't know. But anyway, just a little note. I'm not happy with the prices of these, but I can't get them down much more because that cost me a lot of money before I even released it for sale. So, you know, until Shapeways drop things or get me a printer, we're a bit stuck. But I hope you can appreciate, you put it next to the K2 body. The E2 body is a lot bigger in all counts, so that has a lot to do with it. Now, quick comparison to something. Ignoring the fact that this has no extended tanks, this is the old Hornby one. If I do it bunker to bunker, you see there's a bit of a difference in length. Okay. If you compare bunker to bunker, yep, you'll also see there's a big difference. Right. Similarly, the running plate curves on this are not quite so extreme as on this one, and also you see there the height difference is quite pronounced. And it seemed to me that Hornby decided to extend the smokebox length, the boiler length, the whole lot, just extend bits incrementally in order to fit a different chassis, and that's why the running plate was the wrong height and everything. So I wasn't happy with this. I wasn't happy with one of the kits on the market either, so I thought, well, I'm at my own. So I'm now going to show you how to clean this. Now, just before I do clean it, I wish to thank Adam Hamilton, also known as Henry Blue. He's the one who I learned the method from. If you look online, there's many different methods. Some people like the method I'm about to do. Some people do not like it. It's very much an opinionated thing. I personally haven't had any problems with it, so I'll continue to do it. So it's up to you if you try it or not. But 2-stage cleaning for me. And the first stage is simply an old knackered toothbrush. Thus, get some washing up liquid. So I'll see you in a minute. Right. Medium hot water, not too hot. This being a plasticky resin, some parts of the website say plastic and other parts says resin. This stuff, if you obviously put it in lots of hot water for a long time, you can actually remold it into shape. You can change it. So if you end up, you know, you go too far with it with the hot water, you keep it in too long and you bend it, then just put it back in and bend it back. You shouldn't do. Just use a little bit of time. This is doesn't really need videoing, it's that basic. You just gotta gently, this is first stage, I'm going to show you second stage afterwards, go over it. But obviously be careful not to knock the detail off. You've got little small prongs here where you're going to put your hand around. So this is the first thing I do. Might be an idea to take the cab roof off, it's sprued on, so you can get inside a bit. There's some detail in the cab you don't want to knock off either, so just be careful. Same as a border pipe here. On some of the models it wasn't actually moulded in because I couldn't get it to green tick, so you'll have to make it out of brass wire or something, which I'll show you later on the K2, because that one you have to do it. But this it manages to print okay. You notice there's a Westinghouse pump here as well. If you want it on the other side, just clip it off and pull it there. At the back you got to be careful. I can't really show you on this camera, but you've got lamp irons, you don't want to knock those off unless you want to replace them with brass ones. So anyway, I'll continue to do this off camera and get back. Right, the next stage, get a big fat bucket. Big vat of white spirit. Do it outside so you can breathe properly, obviously. Plonk the model in it. There you go. So it covers the whole thing. As I said, some people don't like this method, some people love it. It's always worked for me. So leave that for an hour. Right. If you want to wear gloves, that's up to you. I don't bother, just wash my hands. Okay. Once that's dried, most of it's going to go white, a bit like Wusuf. But I'll take you upstairs and we'll find out. Give it 5 minutes. Okay, it's been a couple of hours now. You see that the model is now white. Now, you've seen the process. Once that's done, what I do to now smooth this is exactly the same as I use for the Wusuf type things. I get my little files out, and I get my various grades of sandpapers out, and you just go over it, okay? And then give it a bit of primer and go over it again, and you're sorted. Maybe you'll notice the colours are sort of cream at that angle, then white at this angle. It all depends on how it's put in the print tray. Sometimes I print it this way, sometimes I print it that way, and that will change the surface in places slightly. So don't matter what model you get, there's always going to be some surface preparation needed. But with the FUD models, there's a bit less, and they turn out a lot smoother in the end. Right, so tank rivets. They turn out quite nice in the FUD, right? But the side, a bit grainy, right? So what I would do to start off is get your file and just start doing that. Try not to knock the rivets off, which is very easy to do. If you do knock a rivet off, don't despair too much. You can buy Archer transfer rivets. I think DCC Concept sell them. You've got obviously some stuff here. Blow it away. Another thing with this is sometimes when you're cleaning it as well, it's not going to be the actual frosted material. Sometimes you're going to get wax, right? Because in the process they use wax as support material, as I understand it, and it's left on the model, so you have to clean it off sometimes. But this is the first thing I do, just go over it gently. You get a slight angle, but this is also where papers are good. Again, you've got to be very careful of these rivets. There's a nice bit of detail, you don't want to destroy it. That's looking better, definitely. So obviously I'll just go over and get that done. I'm not sure what colour I'm going to paint this. I'm thinking maybe Southern Railway yellow, so it's nice and blingy. Not sure yet. This side I knocked a couple of rivets off. Well, not fully, but I've dulled them a little bit. But I think I'll just touch them out in the paint and there you still see them. that's what you got to be careful of. Okay. In the Wusif prints, they don't turn out as well as these. So I decided to knock it off completely and just smooth it over. I'll get some transfer rivets later when it can be bothered, but this is the Wusif one, which I think after a lot of smoothing, this has turned out pretty well as well. But you won't get as good a finish with Wusif as you will with FUD. So anyway, yeah, I think yellow maybe for that. Haven't decided yet. Anyway, the next video will hopefully be the airbrushing. I need to get access to the shed because we're very busy, but whatever it is will be whatever it is. So I hope this has enlightened you, helped you out in some way, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, quick note. Top of a bottle. Might as well save it. Keep reusing it. Oh, you keen ass.